News of obviously in Europe is, look, finally, after maybe too long, right, they're finally spending again. Germany is kicking it off, lifting the debt brake, etc. The rest of Europe is likely to follow as well. What does that mean for your clients?
Well, I think globally, for our clients are globally invested, globally diversified. But I think what is very important, what's happening in Europe, is that hopefully the overall environment in Europe will be a bit less depressed than it has been. Now, sometimes Europe needs a bit of a trigger to move. We've seen how Germany reacted. For our clients, I think at the end of the day, if we find stability back in Europe, this is a positive news.
Because
when it comes to the priorities for your clients, sustainability, has that changed, especially given the messaging coming out of Washington, D.C.? How important is this within sustainability? Are there particular issues that remain at the forefront?
Look, sustainability, I think it is a secular trend. I think we will continue to go in that direction because we need more energy, we need better energy, and we need to find a way. You have seen it in Europe again. We have floods and so on. Now, it is fair to say, though, that in the last couple of years, the demand for, let's say, green products has changed, all the issues of greenwashing. But as I said, I think the young generation, the next generation, for them, this is a must. This is a conditio sine qua non, and they will continue to focus.
Is that your client base, though?
Our client base, look, the next generation is coming pretty soon, and we are going to see in the next few years the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of humanity. So we need to get ready for that, and that's why for us sustainability is important. The key question for me is how. Because, the fashion that we had a few years back with a lot of hype and maybe a lot of packaging of things that were not real, that is not relevant for our clients. But I think...
You're talking about ESG?
I'm talking about ESG, yes, and greenwashing.
Oh, okay. So, listen, this sort of new client base, huge transfer of wealth. These are, this would be a younger demographic, right? Are they more likely to come to you? Let's say the eldest brother in that family, right? To go, listen, Giorgio, forget about this ESG stuff, right? How do I get access to, or give me 3 names, European defense startups? Is that a more likely conversation these days?
Well, look, in terms of diversification, we don't think that we have the truth in our pocket. Obviously, if you speak to our investor advisors, they can tell you everything. But we are trying to give you the advice that you need. There are some clients that with us, they only trade. They love to trade. FX was a dead asset class. They've been trading in the last few years, since 2022, like we have not seen in years, and this has gone very, very well. Some clients now are going back into lending. We have seen deleveraging over the last few years. Now interest rates have come down a bit, maybe not so much in dollars, but we see the releveraging going up in different currencies. Some clients like, for example, structured products, we have seen in order to be edge and defensive, and depending on the underlying, they can construct different products.
Giorgio, I can't let a Swiss private banker go without talking about where gold fits into the portfolio and the new gold, which is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. What are you telling clients?
Well, this is a very interesting topic. I recall that we were discussing among us, and somebody said, look, obviously of our firm, we need always to have 10-15% of our portfolio either in gold or Bitcoin. And people said, why gold and Bitcoin? I said, because the old generation, maybe like mine, they would think gold. But the new generation, they think Bitcoin, and they think crypto. So I think we are very conservative about crypto, to be fair. But obviously, the ETF in Bitcoin has been the most successful ETF we have seen. So when there is if the underlying is crypto, but we have a nice number, we have no problem in advising our clients.
I have one last question. We look at the markets all day long. We focus on the headline of the moment, what's happening in the market today. But your clients, I presume they have a much longer time horizon. What are they genuinely worried about, and what are they not so worried about that perhaps people who look at the markets all day, every day, are spending too much time on?
Let me put a blunt question to you. How many of your clients, especially the European ones, are concerned about the real possibility of war in Europe soon?
Well, I think, coming to the last question quickly, this is very subjective. I think that hopefully we're going to do progress. I think that, if you look at the overall, let's say, key topics that worry people in Europe, for sure, war that never existed for 70, 80 years now is top of the radar. Now, whether it is a subconscious topic, I cannot tell you. But, our clients, we have, as I said, all kinds. Some people like to trade every day and are very short term. But in general, it's about asset preservation, is asset growth, and asset and wealth planning. Going to the next generation is extremely important, and how you pass the assets to the next generation. Our clients are the majority, also here in Asia, are first or second generation entrepreneurs. They are very invested. Their equities in their businesses. The question is, how do I keep some of the assets for the rainy day? That's why private banking is geopolitical risk diversification.
Giorgio, are you looking to grow through acquisitions in this region? And is there anything imminent that you can talk to us about?
Thank you for the question. Our strategy has been, over the last 6 years, primarily organic growth. The last acquisition we did in the region has been Shaw & Partners, a stockbroker in Australia, and we are very pleased with that. We had to break a 6-year spell. We finally made another acquisition, this time in Switzerland, in Geneva. It's a 7.5 billion Swiss francs small private bank in Geneva. Now, we would love to grow in Asia also via acquisitions. We don't have anything concrete that I can mention to you, but for us, the 3 key criteria are, number 1, it has to be either in Hong Kong or Singapore, where we're already present, in order to generate synergies. Number 2, the culture has to fit with ours. Our culture is quite entrepreneurial. And third, obviously, the price has to be okay. We need to have a return on investment of up to 10% in 3 years.
Do you see value right now, either in Hong Kong or Singapore?
We see value. We see a lot of value. We see clients. We see that there is a lot of interest from clients. Obviously, on the other hand, is the market, which is the most competitive market on the planet, because all the banks are here. But things might change. If you are underscale in this market, in private banking, you're not going to last long. So I'm sure we're going to see opportunities in the next quarters.
Are there opportunities in India?
India is a different market. We don't cover India onshore. We cover more India offshore, from London, Dubai, and Singapore primarily, and Switzerland to a certain extent. I think it's a tremendous market. We are doing extremely well. Now, to go onshore is a different ballgame. For the time being, we're still doing it cross-border, but we see tremendous value about that.